They called him the perfect father. Everyone did. To the neighbors in Lekki, Lagos, Mr. Tunde Adeyemi was the man everyone admired, the father who waved at the gate each morning, dropped his daughter at school on time, and kissed his wife's forehead before heading to work. A good husband, a proud father, the man who led Sunday prayers and never missed a PTA meeting. But perfection is a mask, and sometimes the person wearing it smiles the brightest when they're hiding something dark. The Adeyemi home looked perfect. The smell of jollof rice filled the air on Sundays. Ade's laughter echoed through the living room. Gospel songs played softly as Amara graded her students' homework. Every night, Tunde came home at 6, loosened his tie and lifted his daughter into his arms. "My favorite girls," he'd say with a grin, and Amara would smile, grateful, peaceful, content. She never imagined that peace was about to break. Then small things began to change. Tunde's smile grew tighter. His phone, once left face up on the table, now stayed in his pocket. He worked late more often. Amara's mother warned her once, "Keep your eyes open, my daughter." Amara only laughed. She believed in trust, in family, in faith, in him. But beneath the surface, a storm was gathering. The first real crack appeared one night when Ada refused to go into her father's study. "She's just tired," Tunde said quickly, but his eyes darted away too fast. That night, Amara lay awake, staring at the ceiling, her chest tight with unease she couldn't name. Over the next weeks, Ada grew quieter. Her laughter faded. Her drawings darkened. Locked doors, faceless figures, broken suns. Amara tried to ask. Tunde said, "You worry too much." His tone was calm, too calm, the kind of calm that shuts questions down. At school open day, Ada's teacher pulled Amara aside. "Your daughter's been withdrawn lately," she said softly. She flinches when someone raises their voice. Amara's heart raced. She forced a smile. "It's probably exam stress." But even as she said it, she didn't believe it. That evening, she told Tunde about it, expecting concern. Instead, his face hardened. "So now you're listening to gossip about me and my child." Amara froze. "I wasn't." He slammed his glass on the table. "Don't start nonsense in this house." Silence fell like a blade. From the hallway, Ada watched with wide, frightened eyes. That night, Amara understood. Something inside this home was broken. From that day, she watched quietly. The late nights, the locked phone, Ada's fear. Her home, once warm, now felt haunted. Until one evening, the truth arrived. Not through whispers, not through rumors, but through a knock on the door. Two women from church stood outside, their faces pale. Behind them stood a man in plain clothes, a police officer. "Mrs. Adeyemi," he said gently, "we need to talk." Her stomach dropped. "What is this about?" she asked, voice trembling. The officer hesitated. "There have been complaints. We're investigating your husband." "Investigating for what?" The silence that followed felt endless, and when the words came, her world shattered. Tunde, her husband, the perfect father. The truth tore through her mind like lightning. That night, sirens wailed. Flashing red lights filled their quiet street. Neighbors gathered outside in disbelief. No, not Tunde Adeyemi. Impossible. But the impossible had already happened. Tunde didn't resist. He just looked at Amara, half ashamed, half angry. "Tell Ada I love her," he said, before the officers led him away. Amara fell to her knees and screamed. Her world, her life, her marriage, all of it collapsed in seconds. Days passed in silence. The church called. Reporters showed up. The same people who once praised their family now whispered behind her back. Amara barely spoke. She just sat, staring at the empty chair across from her. When Ada asked what happened, Amara's heart broke again. "Why did Daddy lie? Why does everyone hate him?" Amara whispered, "Because sometimes people wear masks even when they say they love you." Weeks later, the clouds finally cleared. For the first time in months, sunlight poured into the Adeyemi home. Amara stood by the window, wrapped in her robe, watching light spill across the floor. Behind her, Ada slept peacefully for once. 2 months had passed since the night everything fell apart. Life slowly began to move again. The neighbors stopped whispering. The church went back to its routines. And Amara learned something powerful. Survival isn't about forgetting. It's about moving through pain and still hearing your own heartbeat. Every morning, she took Ada to therapy across the bridge. The counselor, Dr. Ife, was kind and patient. She helped Ada express her emotions through drawings, storms, flowers, suns returning to the sky. Healing was slow, but it was happening. Amara and Ada started walking on the beach in the evenings. The first day, Ada said nothing, just watched the tide. The second day, she whispered, "Mom, are we going to be okay?" Amara smiled, small, fragile, but real. "Yes, sweetheart, not perfect, but okay." That became their prayer. When Amara returned to teaching, she expected whispers. Instead, her students clapped. One boy ran up and hugged her. "Welcome back, Mrs. Adeyemi," he said softly. Tears filled her eyes. The world hadn't ended. It had just changed its shape. A week later, her school hosted a parent meeting on family awareness. Amara was asked to speak. At first she hesitated. Then she saw Ada sitting in the front row, watching her with quiet courage. Amara stood, voice trembling but steady. "Sometimes what breaks us," she said, "is what teaches us to rebuild stronger. Silence protects no one. We speak, not to shame, but to heal." The room was silent. Then people nodded. Some cried. Months later, a letter arrived. It was from Tunde. No excuses, just regret. Amara read it once, folded it, and placed it in a drawer. Forgiveness wasn't a door she could open yet, but maybe someday, she'd stand at its edge without shaking. That night, she prayed beside Ada's bed, not for Tunde, but for them, for peace, for strength, for tomorrow. One Saturday morning, Ada came running into the yard with a packet of seeds. "Mom, let's plant something new." They dug together, laughing for the first time in forever. Weeks later, the first green shoots appeared. Amara smiled, tears in her eyes. "We're growing again, aren't we?" Ada nodded. "We are." The neighbors still talked sometimes. The past still visited in dreams. But the house had changed. It no longer echoed with fear. It breathed. And in that breathing space, mother and daughter began to truly live again. They said the Adeyemi had once been the perfect family, but perfection is a painting. It cracks the moment truth touches it. What remains after the cracks? That's where real beauty begins. Amara learned that healing isn't loud. It's the quiet courage to wake up each day and choose love over bitterness. Ada learned that broken things can still bloom, and together, they discovered something powerful. Sometimes, the garden you plant after the storm grows stronger than anything that stood before it. This was Behind the Perfect Father, the secret that destroyed a family, a story not just about loss, but about survival, truth, and the quiet rebirth of hope.